everyone, my name is Mrs. Rona Ardalanon from Elises Guerra Campus, and I will be your reading and writing teacher for today's video lesson. So I hope that you will all listen and pay attention, and if you have paper with you there while watching, please take down notes.
Our topic for today's video is about the patterns of development in writing across discipline. So what is the importance of the patterns of development in writing? Maybe some of you will ask, why do we need to study this topic? Is it important? Absolutely yes, because patterns of development help us sort out information and shape paragraphs or essays. They can help organize an outline, or depending on the purpose, they can determine the form that a paper will take. Remember, class, that most paper will use a combination of methods, working together in function of each other. Okay, so let us now discuss the following patterns: narration, description, exemplification or classification, comparison and contrast, cause and effect, problem solution, and persuasion. Narration is very important rhetorical pattern in writing. Narration means telling a story or account which may be factual or fictional. A narrative paragraph or essay tells a story. It explains how something happened. It tells the reader when, where, and what happened. A narrative paragraph contains action verbs and transition words that indicate time or sequence. The following are some transition words used to signal time or sequence order: first, second, etc. After, next, then, eventually, soon. Meanwhile, a short time later. During, at the same time, simultaneously. Suddenly, instantly, momentarily. The next day, following, thereafter. In the end, ultimately. So class, remember that a narration can be objective or subjective. If it is objective, it means that your narration is direct and factual. If the narration is subjective, it means that your narration has a personal interpretation. Okay, so that is the difference between the two. Next is description. Description is a representation of something or someone in words. It is one of the main rhetorical patterns that creates a mental image of a thing, a person or character, or an event. This is used when a writer aims to convey the readers the physical characteristics of a person, place, or thing. Description gives information of what a person, an object, a place, or a situation is like. It appeals to the reader's senses. It makes the reader see, hear, taste, smell, or feel the subject. A descriptive paragraph has concrete and specific details, which are carefully chosen by a writer to paint a picture in the mind of the reader. Literary analysis, descriptive essays, business plans, lab reports, and research papers are some examples of writing genres that use descriptive paragraphs. So remember that as a writer, you need to utilize sensory details to form images into your reader's mind. Your description will reveal your point of view toward the subject you are writing about. Next is exemplification or classification. An exemplification is an example of the concept that you are discussing. When writers use the exemplification or classification pattern, They provide examples for general ideas, group these examples, and provide labels. Exemplification is one of the most common and effective ways to show or explain an idea or point. Example: observation, opinion, belief. In this pattern class of development, the main idea is explained by giving an extended example or a series of detailed example. Okay? Classification refers to sorting or arranging subjects. Example: persons, place or places, things, ideas into groups or categories according to their common or shared characteristic. The subjects can be grouped in many different ways depending on your purpose. Okay, so remember that you can use both exemplification and classification in developing a paragraph. You can begin by classifying some ideas and then explain each idea by giving examples. Comparison is and contrast is when the writer wants to point out the similarities between or among ideas, while contrast is used when the writer wants to point out the differences between or among ideas. So comparison, to compare persons, things, places, events, situations, or ideas, is to show how they are alike. Okay? You need to identify the points of comparison and make a list of similar characteristics or qualities for each point of comparison. So the following are words that signal similarities. Okay? Also, like both, as, similarly, in the same way, equally important, likewise. The following are some words that signal contrast: but, however, though, on the other hand, in contrast. So contrast, to contrast persons, things, places, events, situations, or ideas to show how they are different. Okay, so to do so, you need to make a list of the characteristics or qualities of the subjects and then identify the differences between them. Let us now proceed to cause and effect. A cause refers to the reason why something happened. An effect refers to the consequence or result. So class, can you determine the difference between the two? Alright, so a cause is simply why something happens. And again, an effect is what happens. Together, they can be used as a pattern of development in writing. With the cause and effect pattern, the writer can explain how an event or action leads to another. So class, the following words can be used to signal cause and effect. Okay? As a result, accordingly, because of this, due to this, consequently, hence, therefore, thus. Okay. So, class, remember that a cause tells why something happens. Take a look at this picture. While an effect describes what happens. Okay, so just like that. The writer can use the cause and effect pattern of development to explain how an event or action leads to another. Okay. Problem solution as a rhetorical pattern is very helpful in developing an essay. It prompts the writer to subject a problem to careful analysis and later offers sound solutions to solve it. A problem, in general, is an unsatisfactory situation that causes troubles or difficulties, as always. Therefore, it needs a solution, a way to deal with the situation so that the troubles or difficulties are removed. So class, below is a diagram that will help you in analyzing a problem and generating solutions to problem. Alright? In analyzing the problem, you need to look at its different angles. Okay, so the parts of the problem will require you to analyze the 5 W's, what, who, where, when, why, and 1H for how questions. The cause and effect of the problem will expose the root of the crisis as well as its possible implications or the future implications of the solution. Okay, next, let us know first what is process and what is persuasion. A process text is one that explains a set of steps or actions to be taken in order to achieve something. So, in a process text class, you need to be very clear about what you want your readers to actually do. And also, since you are dealing with instructions here, you need to be concise. Long and complicated instructions make for a very confusing text. So be sure to avoid that, okay? Next, persuasion is the highest form of communication. Yes, successful persuasion can convince others to believe in something, do something, support an advocacy or project, invest money, time, and effort, or buy something. So see how powerful it is, the persuasion. So knowing, class, how to write a persuasive paragraph allows you to express your personal conviction or opinion about an issue or topic and then make the readers agree with or adopt your conviction or opinion. Alright? There are academics who believe that persuasion is the highest form of communication, of course. Hence, whoever persuades has the responsibility to influence others for the better, for the better, not coerce them into something bad. Always remember that. Okay? Alright, so it's the end of our discussion, so let us exercise your brain. Okay? So class, all you have to do is to identify the pattern of development or text structures used, write cause and effect, comparison and contrast, narration, description, exemplification or classification, and persuasion. Okay? So, number 1. A paragraph or essay that tells a story or explains how something happened. So, what is the answer, class? Alright, so the answer is narration. Next question. Explains a subject by dividing into types or categories. What is this? Yes, so the answer is exemplification or classification. Next question, number 3. Explains how two subjects are similar or different. Okay? From the keyword similar or different. So your answer is okay, comparison and contrast. Next, number 4. It explains the reason why something happened and describes the results of an event. Okay. What is your answer, class? Okay, so cause and effect is the correct answer. Next, class, number 5. A representation of something or someone in words. This may be subjective or objective. Okay, so that is your keyword, subjective or objective. The answer here is description. Okay.
Alright, that's all for today. I hope you understood the lesson very well. Thank you, students, and have a good day ahead.